The light tank, one of the easiest and most common tanks destroyed in this game. During this video, you will receive tips on how to avoid this tragedy. You can become one of the greatest tankers on your team if you apply them correctly, or maybe even in the game. The light tank has its disadvantages, and then it has its advantages. Are you ready to learn them? Yo guys, what is up? Destiny here. I'm so thankful to be able to bring you guys this video today because I've actually noticed on YouTube that you don't see a lot of light tank tips and tricks videos out there, and I think this is actually the first one that's going to be light tank tips and tricks video. Now, I'm going to briefly go over all of the advantages and disadvantages to the light tank. Some of the advantages would be its speed, its stealth, and its spotting ability. Now, some of the disadvantages, of course, are its weak armor, its weak gun, and really all this stuff depends on what tier match you get into. And I'm not going to go into those right now. I might do it later on in a different video if you guys want. But that's only if you guys want, and if you want more tips and tricks videos with water tanks, you guys need to leave it in the comments below. But yeah, let's go right now. Right now, I am using the Locust tank, and this is a pretty good example of its spotting ability and its stealth, because I'm sitting there, I'm not doing anything, I'm just trying to spot other enemy tanks, and I'm using the stealth advantage because my tank is small. I mean, I can just shove it in the bush and it'll be fine. And virtually, you can do that with anything. You can put it behind a building, a rock, a tree, or something like that. Just something to give you cover so you can take advantage of the light tank's stealth. Now, in a few seconds here, you're going to see me slide down a hill on accident. But otherwise, I ran immediately back to cover. And I want you to notice right here how I did not pursue this other light tank. I did not make a move. I did not want to blow my cover. That way I could continue spotting other vehicles. And right there, I slid down the hill and I spotted someone and I didn't even mean to. And I'm trying to stay as stealthy as I can. Now, the light tank also has, generally speaking, it has more speed than any other tank. And you can use that highly tiered advantage, especially the Locust. The Locust is one of the fastest light tanks out there. Besides the M3 Stuart, I believe. They're both premium tanks, and I do have the Stuart, and I love it. I'm never going to sell that tank. It's fast as lightning. Now, I'm going to go over the weak armor and the weak gun. Again, these two really depend on what tier match you get into, because if you're playing in a platoon, you could potentially be playing tier 5 matches with a tier 3 light tank. And as you notice, I'm not being very aggressive with the light tank. That's because I'm not going to do stupid things that are going to get me killed. See, if you survive the match and you get penetrations and stuff like that, that'll just boost the amount of stars that you can get at the end of the match. Now right here, I'm using the light tank's speed advantage over this tank. And as you can see, the gun is pretty weak. I'm pretty sure this was a tier 4 match. And I'm using the speed to get away from these guys as quickly as possible. And there's the spotting advantage over and over again. But I remind you, the gun on the light tanks is generally weaker. And you should not try and just run into their base like you see all these other players do. And this is what gets them killed. And that's what leads a lot of teams to lose, is because their light tanks get taken out so quickly, and then they have no spotters virtually on the team. But right there, I just took a risk because there's only 4 enemy players left, and we virtually have all of our team left except like 2. Yeah, 2. And I'm being careful to avoid shots because I know I have weak armor on this tank, and it's not gonna hold up to what it needs to be. And that is just a stupid decision right there. But again, I'm going to go over the advantages and disadvantages to recap. And don't do that. That's just retarded. Don't ram with your light tank. But again, the advantages to the light tank are its stealth, speed, and spotting, and stay hidden. Its disadvantages are its weak armor and weak gun. Again, those two depend on what tier match. And remember guys, don't do stupid things. I hope you have enjoyed this tips and tricks video. You need to leave in the comments if you want to see more tips and tricks from any game that I can do. Share the video guys, and peace.